back. This time with another medical. It's actually CGC. It's always good to get books back from CGC, but I think this one is probably sadder than most. These are the books that we submitted through Grail Hunters for the Perez signing that never happened. And obviously, as unfortunate as it is, we did get the blue labels with the Perez logo on it, so it's a nice keepsake. But look, the video is probably more about the legacy of Perez and his amazing work, more so than the grades in the books themselves, really. He was an amazing creator. It's sad that we never got him to sign these, despite the fact that, you know, he was all for it and he was keen to assist. The funds were going to go to, or probably still did go to, one of the charities and stuff. So props to CGC for following through and helping out. I can't imagine the logistics of resorting and redirecting thousands of books submitted through their portal for signature to other events. So essentially what they did for us was, I think it's about 21 books, as you can see. They provided us with the opportunity of redirecting it for other signatures where they had events already, and then also just obviously resorting and slabbing and pressing and cleaning and so forth. So us having been a group submitting together, it was a number of members, probably 10 or so, submitting over 20 books. Some went for signatures with Jim Starlin, some was pressed and cleaned, some wasn't, because it was never really the intent of trying to get 9.8s back. It's more about being part of the Perez event, the private event that they were hosting. So as sad as it was that unfortunately he couldn't sign, and he unfortunately passed away during the time the books were with CGC, it was amazing to work with them and them being responsive and caring and helpful through that process to make sure you get what you want out of it with the books. So it's probably a sad close to what could have been an exciting and great event, but I am 100% certain the Grail Hunters members who submitted books to this event will all keep them. They're all personal grails, and they're all point in time memory of celebrating the legacy of George. So it's been pretty good. That said, we still have obviously some great outcomes like this. This was from Matt McNeil, 9.8. Amazing little logo at the top there. But unfortunately, obviously not signed by Perez, it was signed by Jim Starlin. Yeah, great book. Great outcome of the 9.8. But yeah, so more so celebrating the memory of a great creator, a great contributor to something that we've loved all our lives. This was another one that went to Stalin, came back as 7.5. Those were only two signatures that were redirected. In many cases, all these books were either just slabbed or pressed and cleaned and slabbed. So all the CGC documentation. So I'll run through them. Obviously, this is one of the biggest events of my 90s reading career, was the crossover between DC and Marvel, and what an amazing cover celebrating the crossover event. This one came back 9.8. Also, the fact that they maintained the logo with a blue label was really, really good. A nice touch of them. And just, I think the book submitted is also a great testament to the range, right? That was 2004. The Infinity Gauntlet was 1991. This is 1974. First appearance of Deathlock. I can't remember how many of these we submitted, but there was quite a few. So I think the 6.5 was actually mine. It had some coffee stains on, so I sent it for a press and clean. So I'm impressed with the grade it came back. But again, I don't think anybody in this group submitted it for the grades. It was more for to be part of that event, part of the the legacy of what he provided us. We did get some nice grades in though. A nice 9 came back for this one. Deathlock is obviously one of the amazing characters, and probably left of the middle characters for the era it was created in 74. Right in the middle of Bronze Age. 2 months after Wolverine, from the looks of it. And another one, being a DC boy growing up. I mean, this cover was iconic. The story was iconic. The characters introduced into the DC universe during that time was iconic. So obviously, Crisis of Infinite Earth, Infinity Gauntlet, another one. It's such an amazing range of stories, of characters across companies and franchises that he was involved in that will really literally remain with us forever, right? I think we submitted a 4 or 5 of the Taskmasters. Thank God I put everything in Excel, trying to remember who got the 7.5 and who got the 8.5 could become really tricky if you're not organized. But yeah, we were super organized with this. So despite unfortunately CGC having to split our order into 4 separate orders, they shipped it in separate shipments to me because of the fact, obviously, the straight to slab versus the press and slab versus the signature and slab all came through in different cycles. The communication was amazing throughout. I always say I'm slab agnostic. I don't really care for CGC over CBCS over Halo. I love them all, and I think they all have their benefits. The side of CBCS being shed us slow at the moment, but you know what, the customer service from CGC were outstanding. They kept communications up, they split my invoices, they split the orders, they reconfigured exactly the books that we needed to submit and what for, and gave me timelines for each of them in the portal so I could track it real time. So yeah, now we can just sit back and enjoy the books. Happy, sad moment. There's a lot of DC work. I think this is Matt Sutton, a beautiful 9.8 Wonder Woman #1. It's amazing, man. What a year we've had, eh? Perez, Neil Gaiman. Oh, sorry, Neil Adams for Neil Gaiman. I hope I didn't jinx him. Another one of those. So all up, 20-something books, all submitted. I'll leave that one to last because it's my favorite of the batch. There's another amazing 9.8. It's beautiful to get 9.8s with a thick spines too, because usually they get crushed or damaged or scratched. So to get so many 9.8s for that one, amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm sure every member that was part of this will be over the moon with their results. This one in particular, Mike Swindles, submitted the foreign variant of First Taskmaster. It came back at 5.5, but man, it is a beautiful cover. French-Canadian edition. I'm hunting this, and I'm hunting the first Punisher of the same company. They're beautiful books. I really like them. And I think for me, this is probably the highlight of the batch, despite a lot of 9.8s coming out of there and mine grading not bad. The lowest grade, foreign edition, First Taskmaster, slightly recolored, came out amazing. Anyway, that is it. Just really wanting to show off some of the books. Pay my respects to George Perez. What an amazing creator. Long may we enjoy their work. A little bit more subdued than normal, but for good reason. Still happy to have them all back, and they'll go to our good collections. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.